You're watching the number one podcast in the whole entire wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Juanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leg.
Together we are Roderick. How's every single one of you, family? Time to talk about NXT, a show that still has a lot of issues, but, a little bit like you see that how like they're shaping up the card for what is going to be NXT TakeOver 36. Like a really great video package from Ilja, Dragunov, and Walter. But it bothers me that like they air that on NXT rather than NXT UK. But at least like we got a decent show, and then the match between Gargano and Loomis. Yeah, we're gonna take all of that.
I think the overall, with them not competing with, but like the Olympics is on, they're on Sci-Fi. This is kind of just let's just give them whatever autopilot mode because they know their viewership's down. They know not a lot of people. Only the real diehards, the casuals that, I watch NXT, if I'm bored on a Tuesday night. But, some people would rather watch the Olympics because they're really into it.
And it was taped, too, so.
Yeah, so, that's why I think their viewership's down. That's why I think they're not giving us the best. But, they're still hyping up TakeOver 36. I'm really excited for that show, more so than probably SummerSlam. I think, TakeOver 36 will be better. But, this show, besides a few segments here or there, not too good. I don't think.
Yep, exactly. So, family, thank you for being with us one more time. Thank you for everything that you do for us. Don't forget to support videos. Jean-Paul goes through this show that, of course, all of you know how bad it is. All of you know that he's insufferable, and they're actually thinking of adding another hour to SmackDown. Yeah, way to go. Way to destroy that show just because of Rampage. So, if miracles do happen, the miracle that I'm expecting is that they keep SmackDown at 2 hours. But Nikki ASH, win over Charlotte, like you said. Ric Flair leaves WWE, and she already, they're trying to bury her, right?
Yeah, Monday Night Raw, it gets worse and worse every week. Goldberg and Lashley stare down. McIntyre swinging his sword, trying to kill other wrestlers. Monday Night Raw is just awful.
Yeah.
That's the only way to really say it.
It is. It's just an awful show. So, don't forget to check the review. Jean-Paul goes through every single segment and possible outcomes for SummerSlam. So, let's start NXT with Legado del Fantasma. They go a tag match, against Cairo, and they go against, Adonis and High Dollar or Top Dollar. That's oh my gosh. Those names, that's all I got to say on that. But, they gave us a pretty decent show. A match. It was pretty interesting between these guys. I'm thinking that, TakeOver is going to be, like you mentioned, the 3 against the 3, and then the title will be on the line. Then we'll have to do something like that. But what do you think of it? Because then Santos Escobar showed up. He caused the distraction. They go at it. So your thoughts on this segment? Legado, at least for after all these weeks, they finally look semi-legit here.
Yeah, and the thing I've been saying with this whole feud is we need to know who the clear heel and the clear babyface is because I have no idea. Now after this match, now I know. Clearly, Legado, what they did in this, they're the heels. Santos, he got involved, like I said, the distraction. When he saw, Hit Row was making their big comeback, Adonis came, or not Adonis, but Top Dollar was,
Top Dollar
house, and he was just like, oh shit, this big man's going to kill us. I got to get the chair and everything. So then you saw, they were beating everybody down. So Hit Row technically wins this thing by DQ, but then they were beating them down, beating down Swerve there. So I'm glad to see that now we know who the heel is, who's the babyface, and now I know who I should cheer, who I should boo, and everything. But then the girl came in. I still don't know her name. Sorry, Jade Cargill too. I don't know her name. But,
Jade Cargill.
Yeah. She came in with a chair. That's why I said they need a woman because now this is 2 weeks in a row that the girl is the one who saves the day. Because they don't have another girl that can beat her up because, they're not going to hit a woman or anything. They're gentlemen. Even though they're heels, they're gentlemen. They're not going to hit a woman, But no, this was all right. But I don't want to see a 6-man tag with the title on the line because they already did that with Bronson Reed and MSK.
Yeah, they did it last time.
Where it's like a winner take all because what if Joaquin Wilde gets pinned and then Santos is like, really, dude? Really? You want me my title because you're bullshit? So no, I don't think you're going to do that. If anything, you just do a one-on-one.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what they do, but they're going to make it official. I think next week for Takeover. They're going to be a match between Santos and Isaiah Swerve Scott. What the other 4 are going to do, it will yet to be seen. But like you said, the tag team division completely losing here. The champs are never there. They're not even. They don't even have an opponent yet. We rather get other matches, but that's NXT for you. So let's go now to a quick match that Rich Holland. He actually returned last week. So he goes against this guy. What is it? Henki Meitu or something like that. And
yeah, something like that.
It was really fast. It was just really fast. Rich Holland, it was just a win for him. Why? Because he needs to show dominance. He's back in the ring finally from that injury. And also, like, he has to come back with, like, the again that he has with Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan. So good for him. Good win. And, at the expense of this guy that, like, unfortunately, he's going to be a jobber. So we already can see that path.
Yeah, and I mean, you needed Rich Holland to win to get this guy over. This guy would be great for, I'm going to book down the road here, but like maybe Samoa Joe is champ. This guy would be perfect to go against him. Somebody like that, like he's, and just like you have here in the picture, Pete Dunne said, everybody says they're bad until the baddest guy, until Rich Holland walks in. Then, oh man, then I'm not so, everybody says they're the toughest guy in the room until Rich Holland walks in. Nobody can beat this guy. Look at him. And like during the match, he's just beating up, I forget the guy's name, like he said, Inky Man or whatever. He's beating the shit out of him, and he's just like 10 months. Like I've been.
I commend Hero. There you go.
Yeah, Inky Man. Yeah, he was beating him up, and this was a good win for Rich Holland. We just got to see what they do with these guys. This group right here, they could be a pretty good stable if they do something with them. That's why they could feud against Hit Row. They could feud against Legado del Fantasma. There's lots of stuff you could do with these three if you keep presenting them legit.
Yeah, no, but give them good feuds because right now it's just like it's pretty. It's not as great. We will see what happens. Hopefully, at some point, Danny Berger's also come back, so that will be 4. So like you could actually feud him with somebody else. That would be really cool to see. Like Samoa Joe is like coming looking again for Karrion Kross. Like you can go and see him on Monday Night Raw. You can see him right there. Like he loses to Keith Lee. So I don't know why is this like the situation with like William Regal. He says like they have security for you just because I want peace. I don't want you to be disturbing. I don't want you to do anything like that. Please, don't be bullshit. So that's why we're gonna see Joe and later on in the show. But like this is like the best match, like you said, of the night. A good feud between 2 former members of the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish, Roderick Strong, and they actually gave us a pretty good match. And I think the right winner just because he has a brand new stable. He needs the wins. He needs to be believable, and that's Roderick Strong.
Yeah, this match was great. They gave these guys a lot of time. And see, it wasn't like a clusterfuck. It wasn't like an AEW match where, okay, it's good. And then when you get to the second half, everybody starts jumping in the ring, getting involved, and all this craziness. No, these two guys had a great match. And, like you said, the right winner, Roderick Strong. He needed to win because, like they said, they kept putting him over. He's the Iron Man of NXT. He's the Hatchet Man. He keeps chopping down. He's eventually going to get that win. And, like they said, when he was in Undisputed Era, he wasn't really the number one guy. But now he left. He's on his own. When Undisputed Era split, that really hurt him. But now he was able to come back, refocus, and now he can be that number one guy. He's not in the shadow of an Adam Cole or Kyle O'Reilly or Bobby Fish, any of them. He's going to be his own man. And he needed to get the win here. Bobby Fish don't mind putting him over because this is a feud you can revisit down the line. Like I said, it tells the story where, one of these guys, whether it's Roderick Strong or whoever could be champ, Bobby Fish chases him again. Or maybe it's the old adage, if you can't beat him, join him. Maybe Bobby Fish goes, screw it, I'm going to join Diamond Mine or something. We don't really know. But like you said, they needed to win, needed to get the stable over. Good match. I didn't see, there was no real problem. This match was great. Best match of the night.
It was good. And like you said, like probably the rematch is going to be a takeover. I'm just saying, like they need like a good match after like all of it, like in the middle of the show, But that way they can separate it because there's going to be a lot of good matches on that show. So maybe they will do that. We'll see what happens. This is just bad because like 4 guys are being just jobbed out. The feud is not interesting here. I mean, I know what they're trying to do now. Finally, I see that like they're trying to make Cameron Grimes even a better or bigger babyface. But like at the expense of a good LA Knight that like unfortunately he's not doing that with that title. And also like another team in the Grills Young Veterans that like they actually should be the one challenging for the championship or be the champion. So I don't like this at all.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it should be something where LA Knight is just focusing on defending the $1 Million championship, and just building up himself, making himself look legit, either beating up jobbers, beating up like low mid-card guys to just keep getting more wins. And I know they talked about this last week when they were golfing. You know, the Grizzled Young Veterans were golfing too. But what's the whole point of this? Having them, you know, be in this tag feud. This is to me like a main roster Monday Night Raw segment. It's like you have four guys who are so legit, and you put them in the stupidest shit we could see. That it doesn't elevate anybody. Nobody looks good in here. yeah, Cameron Grimes, he's still able to wrestle in freaking dress pants and a dress shirt, do that like crazy inverted like spine buster he does, whatever you want to call it. The dude is amazing. And LA Knight's good. Grizzled Young Veterans are great, but like you said, nobody cares about this. There was no purpose to this.
No, and well, like a Ticket to Mayhem, because LA Knight refused to get the tag. He actually he was like, "Oh, you're on your own, buddy." Yeah, not me. So like he just bailed in the middle of the match, just like I said, like the Ticket to Mayhem, and then they get the win. I mean, is this going to help them out somehow? No. Is this going to take them to the tag titles? No. So what was the point of this? Also for Teddy DiBiase to come out, and then you get to see him, with like Cameron Grimes. So and then he grabs him. So like I'm pretty sure that like they're going to have a rematch, and that title will be on the line, and then Cameron Grimes will become the $1 million champion at the expense of LA Knight. And LA Knight, unfortunately, he's going to get jobbed out. I don't like that. Like you said, the guy should be at least if not the biggest heel in NXT, but like at least the guy before the biggest heel. So then they're not doing that. Another wasted opportunity here. And then, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. So, Paul, let's go to like the next one. And this is like actually we get to hear from Frankie Monet also. And right here, like Tony Khan wannabe Robert Stone. And he was actually going to address like how they lost this match last week. And he's like, nope. No, we don't talk about losses here. So, I mean, also Frankie lost for me. I don't know. Like she needs a better like person to be feuding with. I don't know what they're doing with her right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like this because, when they asked Frankie, she's like, listen, I don't lose. I'm not a loser. She's like, this is all Robert Stone's fault. He's the one she's like, look at you two. You two are a loser. She's like, I don't even know the word, lose. It's not my vocabulary. And she pretty much kind of just like throws them to the side. And then, like you said, Robert Stone's all, and I think it's going to be soon. Kamea gets the shits of him too. And is like, screw you. And then joins up with Frankie and kind of, then she's the new lackey, or like she's the lackey for Frankie instead of for Robert Stone but like you said, you got to do something good with her. Maybe with a segment we're going to see soon with Io and Zoe, maybe that's going to be the feud, put them in the tag division. I don't know. To me, I would just kind of keep giving Frankie. I don't understand why you just don't keep giving her wins. And let's say they want to put Raquel on the main roster. Let's say that's their goal. We want her on Raw. We want her on SmackDown. SmackDown's missing lots of stars. We need that in the women's division. Then you put the title on Dakota Kai. Hey, sorry, but you're a transitional champ. Boom, you hold it for, a month. You drop it to Frankie Monet because she should be in the singles division. She should be, presented better than this.
Oh, I know, I agree. Maybe it should, but that's not what they like to give us. But, we're going to see this. Dexter Loomis is going to be in the main event against Johnny Gargano. And again, for like the love or not, or like the right to be in the family for Indy Hartwell. So I do the drawings and all of that. I mean, Paul Loomis to me, dead. Completely dead. Storyline destroy everything for me. I'm not interested. I even like Orange Cassidy a lot better. And that's a lot to say, because this guy's dead for me. Now, moving on.
I don't know if I would go that extreme, but the character is like the way that they're presenting him is not good. Where like, oh, I'm a, my girlfriend, the star-crossed lovers. No, it's not good. To me, he was great when he first debuted. Like the feud with the Velveteen Dream, with Roderick Strong, all that stuff where he was creepy. They found a way. It's like main Raw. He doesn't even need to go to the main roster for them to ruin his character. They did it right here on NXT.
Yeah, no, they did it. They took the music and all of this, they're completely dead. Somebody that they haven't at least, jobbed out or like completely wasted is Dakota Kai. She's speaking. She's actually saying why did she do what she did. She broke the friendship. She's like, I got tired of it. I just, I never got my opportunity. I kept like just with her. I stay loyal, but never. She gave me a chance to become like the champion. At least you have a match between the two of us. So I had to go and do business for myself, and I'm not going to stop till I become the NXT Women's Champion. So good between them. I like it. And, finally, we're going to hear from Raquel, next week. So that's good. And at some point we knew that they were going to feud. So I might as well do it on our takeover. So we'll see what happens. Maybe like you said, maybe Raquel's going to go to the main roster and then Dakota becomes champion. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this because it's the long-term booking. We all, like you said, we knew it was going to happen. Raquel ran through everybody that they, have on that main event level. So, the only person left is this. But now let's say Dakota Kai loses. Then does Dakota Kai get, up to the main roster? Because what do you do with her if she loses?
Yes.
She doesn't have no more friends. Tegan Nox is gone, so you can't redo that. there's nobody else.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, so be careful. She might get released, on these days, like anybody can be released.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you never know. You never know. But like, let's remember, it's official. Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver 36. So, finally we got the graphics, so it's official. This is bad. I don't know how you feel about this, but another face-to-face, they don't know what to do with the one guy. The other guy, like, they tried to make him a baby face, and then the other guy, then nobody knew that the contract was expiring. So, like, he got an extension signed up, so he's going to work through, like, TakeOver weekend. But, like, actually, Adam Cole has not resigned with the WWE, so a lot of speculation on that. But, I mean, he's going to resign. You know that was going to happen. But, again, this, another, and once again, I don't want to see it. Like, I'm tired of it. No.
I don't understand what why they rush these feuds. Like, this should be dragged out. Dude, you remember that people always talk about, like, the great, trilogy with, like, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
You can be like, the Hell in a Cell, the WrestleManias, all this stuff they had. It was pretty spaced out. At least, maybe a year in between these matches, some, even, 10 plus years. But then you look at this and you're like, what the heck? We're getting 3 rapid fire matches, like one every month. Why don't you drag this out? Maybe Adam Cole eventually becomes champ. Let's fingers crossed he resigns and, he becomes the champ. That would be the perfect person for him to drop it to, would be O'Reilly. Then you tell that long-term story, but by the time they do that, it'll be like the 6th time they had a singles match.
And nobody wants to watch that. Yeah. And like you said, at some point, he's going to have to win. So if they keep doing that, that's going to be a little annoying and boring. But like,
exactly.
They're going to do that. So let's go with also the Breakthrough Tournament, and that's Joe Gacy. He goes against, Blake Christian or Tyler Banks. They call him that. So, that's what, they have the match. This one, Gacy dominated for most of the match, and I thought that, the bigger man was going to win, but then Tyler did, a really good comeback, and in the end, he gets the win. So, there's a lot of faith in Tyler Banks. Blake Christian, he with the tournament and Impact also. So, I mean, I feel that at some point, they're going to give him, another match with Kushida, maybe, a cruiserweight stuff. So, he gets to the final, to the semifinal. So, this is the bracket for you guys. Carmelo Hayes and Duke Hudson, and then Trey Baxter going against Odyssey Jones. So this is going to be pretty interesting for the final. And the final, I'm thinking, again, TakeOver.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, I think it's got to be Duke Hudson and Odyssey Jones. I think those are the two. I mean, physically, they are the 2 biggest stars, in this thing. And to me, they're the 2 guys with the most potential. Like, a lot of the guys, no offense, but they're all kind of the same style. Like, flippy, really fast, cruiserweight, like the exciting, but we need some more big guys here in NXT. We're losing a lot of them, and some of the big guys we have, like Loomis, are jokes. So, we need these big guys. So, I'm hoping that they're the 2 in the finals, but we have to wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. So, let's go see. This was actually enjoyable. Semi-funny for me. Zoe Starks and Neo Shirai, they went to a Japanese restaurant, and the girls seemed Japanese, like the server. And Io starts ordering. She ordered in Japanese, right? I'm pretty sure she did that.
Oh, yeah.
And then they get all the food, and then Zoe Starks actually gets the same stuff that Io ordered. And no, she didn't like any of the food, so she starts putting it on the floor. She just wastes this food, so all good. But I mean, in the end, at least you see that Io make her pay the bill and all of that. But this was to me a little funny. And it wasn't great, but I mean, I didn't hate it. So you see that they're trying to have some kind of connection between the two.
Yeah, I mean. I don't. It is what it is. I'm not going to shit on it because nobody's going to remember this segment in a week or two. They probably won't even remember it, tomorrow. But it's just, Io is legit. Zoe Starks is such a legit wrestler. And then you're doing comedy stuff like this. I would have rather, cut some of the other segments short or get rid of them. Put these 2 in a tag match where they beat up a job team in 3 minutes. You know what I mean? That's what I'd rather see. But instead, we get the comedy thing with the, she throws the calamari or the squid, whatever bullshit on the wall behind her. Yeah, I'm good without that.
Yeah, no, like I said, some people will like it, some others who don't. And then the girl, actually says, I'm from Kansas or something like that. So, yeah, they try. I mean, it was probably unsuccessful, but, I didn't mind it too much. Samoa Joe also, You get to see him like he actually took care of like the security guys because Karrion Kross was right there. So Karrion is just running away from Samoa Joe. But see, at least Joe actually had some actions. That was good. So he did like the Coquina Clutch. He did a Uranagi. So finally, like he's cleared to wrestle. Where actually we mentioned that once he's good, he's gonna have a lot of feuds in this brand, and like he's gonna be actually the one, like probably the Iron Man from this brand. You know, we have the feud with like Pete Dunne waiting, Adam Cole right there, and like you said, with the championship involved, oh, it's gonna be great. So I like this.
Oh yeah, Joe's so legit, and the only thing that kind of kills all this for me is the way that we see Karrion Kross on Monday nights.
Oh yeah,
it's literally the night before. Yeah. It's like we see him look like a piece of shit, and then he goes to this show and he looks like a badass. Wouldn't that make you think that everybody on this show sucks compared to Monday Night Raw?
Yes. No, it's a bad decision. It's a bad calling right there. I don't like it. But, you know, we got like also like a great promo from Walter and Ilja Dragunov. So that was really good. Like I said, I would have much rather see this on NXT UK just because that's the show that they belong to. I don't like when
I'm hoping since obviously we have 2 days till that show that they replay this promo, you know, on Thursday, which I think they will, or some variation of it.
They will, yeah. I'm pretty sure they will, and you know, like, and I mean, Dragunov were like, they were like you said, like the same beverage that we've seen before. Like, oh yeah, like you do this for the sport. I'm gonna take the violence to the next level. But like this should have been, you know, for me at least, you know, for NXT UK. Why? Because that's where they belong. Not here. I just don't. To me, it doesn't sit well the idea that this NXT is actually the father of the other one. He should be.
I mean, the only thing that you got to think of it as, and I understand where you're coming from because I agree to a certain extent, but more people watch Takeover than watch NXT UK. There's no arguing that. And the way to get more people to watch NXT UK is to maybe put these guys on the show. So they're doing it to help out NXT UK. So that, I mean, I get it. The only thing I wish is this would be the main event. That's the only thing.
For me, it had to be, yes. And they're not going to do it because, you know, Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe. But at least despite all of that, it was good. It was interesting. So we'll see what happens after that. You know, really quick, this is just for, like, everybody that was wondering where, like, Ever Rise. They actually debuted on AEW. So there you go. They're going to be in the show tomorrow. There you go, guys. So, like, if you ever need a job, just go to AEW. They won't, like, hire you right away. I mean, there you go. They have money. Tony Khan, there you go. So
hopefully, I would love to see Ever Rise get beat up by the Young Bucks because it's like, you know, the real ones are beating up the parodies.
Yeah, it's true. But like at least they debuted on AEW like Dark, so there you go. You guys can see it. You didn't even take that the 90-day clause. Like they're good. They're right there. So next week, well, actually, this is gonna be a good show, like you said. Why? Because at least Ilja Dragunov is gonna be on like NXT, so that's cool. You know, like he's probably going to be in the States for TakeOver also, so he's going to have a few weeks there. We're going to see Sheree go back in the ring against Ember Moon. We were asking for Sheree to have a decent opponent, so it's going to happen. So this is going to be interesting. I like this. This one, I'm not, you know, too thrilled about it, but we're going to hear Raquel Gonzalez break the silence. You know, the feud with Dakota Kai, that's fine. But I'm looking forward to see Ilja Dragunov and also Sheree, so it's going to be
the only thing I'll say about that is, you know, is Ember Moon done? You know, the tag team with Shotzi Blackheart, and then Shotzi gets promoted, and then Ember Moon. Oh, I guess I'll lose this. Sheree,
yeah, correct. Yeah, no, like she's done. Like I'm sorry, but they, you know, once they come back. I mean, if you're not like Finn Balor, also like neither one of them have worked out. Neither. I mean, Joe, yeah, but like you know, these guys like Ember Moon has not worked out.
The only thing I'll say to that is, Finn Balor didn't need to go to the main roster.
I know.
I mean, they maybe they were like, oh, if you don't, we're gonna cut you, which I doubt because he's too big of a star, I think. But I don't know. If I was him, I would have been like, no, I'm gonna stay here in NXT.
Exactly. So we'll see. But like you know, we got to see like there you go, main event, love her or lose her match. Like you said, like the name is already selling this. You know, for me, I'm not into like the storyline at all because again, for me, it kills Loomis because you go from like a psychopath, you know, complete twisted guy. And then, you know, oh, he has feelings now. Oh, so he loves too. No, you know, I don't appreciate that at all. We got to see Candice being involved because, like, Indy went underneath the ring. So you see the love story right there. Like, oh, like, so she was taken out of the ring. All of that. But final beat, 1, 2, 3, Gargano gets the win. And then they, you know, we got to see, I mean, a little bit of cake right there. We Indy, but then we got to see a little softcore porn here. We had to see like kisses and like they're like so tell me a little how do you feel about this because I know I'm not into it. I don't think you are into it either, but
I mean the match itself was pretty good. Gargano's good, Dexter Loomis is good. That's why I hate the way that they presented him and Gargano. Gargano as the underdog babyface who he always gets so close to the top, but he can never make it. And then when he does, it's the feel-good moment. That's how Gargano's used best. And Loomis is used best as he's like a tweener. He can either be a heel or a babyface, however you want to use him, because he's like this crazy psychopath. But, he's a good wrestler. He had cool music. So that's why he, got over and became a heel. Became, a babyface, I think. But then they put him in this stupid storyline, and Johnny Gargano won. But then it should have been where Loomis won. He got the girl, and Johnny Gargano goes, screw it. Takes off his headband. There's no more way. The way's finished. It's done. Because it's done anyway.
Yeah.
So you make Loomis lose, but he gets the girl. Anyway, sorry, folks. The loser doesn't get the girl in real life. I just want, to tell you all that in case you didn't know. But, it didn't make any sense. You should have had Loomis go over. And, then he could have got the girl and the way would have been finished because we know Austin Theory's gone. But this storyline sucks. Hopefully, this right here, it pretty much means that, the way's finished and you could do something legit, hopefully, with these, 4 contenders. But, these 4, superstars, but I don't think they will.
No, and like you said, like Johnny Gargano should be
because you know what we're going to see we're probably going to see in 2 weeks. Then we'll see the mixed tag.
Yeah. Only on Takeover, so. Yeah, like you said, I'm not interested in this for Loomis. Like you said, like Dexter Loomis never had a championship match. Nothing. And the character called for it, never did that with him, and then now just lost into this crap.
They should have, again, to me, Keith Lee could have been champion for a year. He could have went through guys like Dexter Loomis. He could have beat guys like him. You didn't have to do the feud with Karrion Kross right away.
Yeah.
But like you said, they just completely botched this whole NXT thing.
No, NXT, like this. Hopefully Joe tries to put it straight out, straight like that thing out. But we'll see what happens. But this was NXT for you guys, family. So thank you so very much for being with us one more time. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and also give the video a like so more people get exposed to the original Road Break. And where else can they find us, Paul?
And make sure you follow us at all our social media outlets. And we have a bunch, so get ready, folks. It's Rope Break on Facebook, the OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. And, of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast in the YouTube wrestling community, the Original Rope Break.
Family, so you and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...